Hero Forge is a tool/website to create custom miniatures for players or DMs alike if they so choose, so let's talk about that a little bit. Hey fellow Game Masters, I'm Richard Quinder, and of course welcome back to the Daily D20, your daily dose of all things tabletop role-playing games, helping you build your world and master your game. Now, if you were in the role-playing game world for any length of time, you probably remember when Hero Forge came on the scene and blew people's mind by giving players a great way to build a custom mini for their characters. Players are able to go online, design a character, customize it how they want down to the clothes and weapons they're carrying, even the pose they are in, and order a printed mini or a 3D model of the mini for them to 3D print at home for themselves. Before we get into the ins and outs and all the details that is on Hero Forge, I just want to make note that these minis are not cheap. The cheapest one on the site that you order and you actually get a physical mini is about $20, and that's a low quality plastic, and it goes up from there. If you just buy a 3D model that you can print at home, that's about $10, so that's a much better deal. But even for that, if you go to the store and find the WizKids minis, or if you're just finding minis for generic creatures, this is not the route to do that. This is for the people or the players who want to have a mini that is very specific to their character that they have in their head. And it's a very cool tool for that, but just keep in mind it's gonna cost you. So the other thing I will also mention from this though is that because they're 3D printed, it comes with kind of an odd texture. In the plastic models, there's slight ridges, there's slight printing lines that comes in. In the metal models, it's a little better, but they still have some sort of texture issues, so be aware of that also. It's not the most clean, smooth sculpts you can get. So let's get into making a character in Hero Forge. When you open up Hero Forge, you'll see that there's several different categories of topics you can look at, and we're just gonna go down this list and look at what's there. In genres, it has ways to split up the items or the options you have for your characters based on the genres of fantasy. So you have fantasy, science fiction, western, various East Asian kind of things. If you set the all option, then you basically have all the options that you want. So I don't really know why you would choose any of the other unless you were specifically looking for a certain item and didn't want to scroll through all the options they have. The race category includes 22 different races at the time of filming this. There could be more later on. They are constantly evolving and adding new things to the platform. These are a good base starting point for building your mini. You don't have to stick with all the features for each race. You can add on and customize your character after the fact, but it's a good starting point and a good kickoff point. I will mention for some of these races, maybe they couldn't use the actual names that they use in Dungeons & Dragons and Pathfinder. Such things like there's a new race called the Forest Guard that when you look at it, it's actually a Furbolg, but they call it a Forest Guard for generic reasons. I think it might be a legal issue. I don't know for sure, but just keep in mind, you might be able to find what you're looking for. It just might be a different name than you're used to. In the face section, there are so many different options you can use. You can add facial hair, eyes, eyebrows, every different option you can of the face, but I want to just touch on the first couple. The main one, the top one, is actually the facial structure, and you can pick one of these different options for how your face is laid out, and it has a slider to give it softer features if that's what you want. And the second one adds a personality. Give it a smirk, give it a smile, make it a grimace, give it some sort of expression that befits your character using this section of the face options. The body section on Hero Forge gives you plenty of options to make your character's body look exactly how you picture it. You can start with picking different textures. They have different ones such as humanoid, lizard, robot, skeleton, different textures like that you can pick from, and they also have different sliders that adjust the measurements if you want your character to be taller, fatter, skinnier, shorter, small legs, long arms. Any of these options, you've got it here in the body slider section. And of course, there's all these other options you can look at. You can even add different accessories to your body, such as wings, tails, or a turtle shell if you need it. The outfit section are very specific collections of clothing for the mini. They're usually considered a set. You don't get to go in and if you pick an item from an outfit, it will change both the upper and lower clothing of your mini. So I really kind of ignore this section because I want to make my outfits from scratch. The clothing section takes those outfits and breaks them down into the individual parts. You've got shirts, you've got pants, you've got gloves, shoulder armor, hoods, headwear, whatever you can think of is in the clothing section. All of these things, you can make those choices individually. So you can have a character wearing a full plate shirt with baggy cloth pants if that's what you want. At this point, I will show you that there is an option here. It looks like a little chain link fence between things like gloves and shoulder armor. When you click it and unlink the chain, that means you can then do asymmetrical choices. That means your character can have 2 different types of gloves, 2 different types of shoulder armors, really whatever you want, and it can be asymmetrical at this point. If you click the chain and link it together again, that means the minis will be the same on both the right and left. And this chain link system comes into play other places on Hero Forge, not just in the clothing, but also in the gear and weapons that your character can carry. Speaking of gear, that's the next section here. You can pick what kind of items or weapons you want to have visible on your mini. This includes weapons it carries in their hands, as well as things it can wear on its back or on its waist. So you can really customize what kind of things your character would actually be carrying. Do they have a bow staff? Are they carrying a crossbow on their back? What are they using? The base section is really neat because these minis do come on a small base, and you can customize that here. You can pick different shapes, whether it's a square, a circle, or kind of a hexagon looking shape, and you can give it different textures based on where you want this character's base to look like it's from. You could do wooden slabs or a stone, kind of cobblestone look. It's really up to you and your heart's desire. In addition, you can add some props to the base that just fill in and give it a little more life, and if you really want to take it to the next level, add a label on the bottom. Even a custom text can go on the bottom of your base. The mount section isn't very robust. It just has some horses and ponies and a warg and a couple motorcycles, but it gives your character something to ride if you would rather have the mini riding a mount. The pose section is one of my favorite sections. You can pick just the right pose for your character to make them look like they're in an action scene, or whether they're standing around looking smug. It's really up to you what the pose you want your character to be. And the last option here is the material. You can pick your mini to be made from plastics or metals. It's up to you. In this, there are 2 types of plastic. There's kind of a low-end plastic and a higher grade plastic. The cheapest one is the low-grade plastic, and then there's the metals where you can get some steel or bronze, or right now they're having this weird rose gold type option that you can get a rose gold coated mini if you want. And of course, in the materials, you also have the option to download the 3D model and then print it from your own 3D printer, which is a good value. If you really think about it, it's $10, and then you can print off as many of that mini as you really need. So I invite you to go check out Hero Forge. The link will be in the description. It's pretty out there. A lot of people know about it, but go check it out. See how it can liven up your tabletop gaming experience, and see what inspires you from Hero Forge. If you like this video, I invite you to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and hit the little bell icon so you get notified when I upload new videos every day. And of course, Game Masters, I've been Richard Quiner. Thank you for watching. If you've liked this video, I invite you to hit the like button and share it with your friends and family, and of course like and follow the page so you get the new videos that I upload every day. If you've liked this video, I invite you to like it and follow me right here on IGTV so you get the new videos that I upload every day.